the killer has been captured. Richie's isn't convinced because the confession was obtained under torture and the details don't match the actual killings, but the council just wants to close this case and the man is executed. Meanwhile, Gene mixes the 12 essences and is very pleased with the result, but he knows he's missing the final 13th note. He wants that final touch to be Laura, who is currently celebrating with the rest of the locals until Richie shows up to take her home. That night, Gene sneaks inside the mansion and approaches Laura while she sleeps. Suddenly Richie's wakes up and rushes to Laura's bedroom, but she's fine and alone. However, Richie's notices the window is open. The next morning, Richie's packs their things and goes away with Laura to keep her safe. Hoping to trick the killer, he sends out an empty carriage in the opposite direction while he and Laura travel by horse. However, Gene's nose immediately detects that Laura's scent is getting weaker, so he also packs his things and begins following her smell to find it. Back in town, the street worker's dog is also smelling things out and finds its owner's clothes buried in the dirt. This is noticed by Druot, who keeps on digging and soon finds all the dead women's clothes and hair. Sometime later, Richie's and Laura arrive at a remote inn and rent all the rooms. Richie's chooses a room with no windows for Laura and locks her up for the night. Still tracking her scent, Gene finds the inn, sneaks through the servant's room, and steals the key from Richie's night table to finally reach Laura. When he's about to kill her, Laura opens her eyes and looks at him, making him hesitate. The next morning, Richie's checks on his daughter and is horrified to discover she's dead. Meanwhile, Gene finishes extracting Laura's essence and adds it to the other 12 to finally create the ultimate perfume. Before he can sniff it properly, he's surrounded by soldiers and gets arrested, but he gets to hide the perfume in his pocket. Afterward, Richie's waterboards Gene to make him confess why he killed Laura, but Gene only answers, "I needed her." Back to the beginning, the day of Gene's execution comes and the whole town gathers to watch. When a council lord and a bunch of guards show up to take Gene, he opens the perfume bottle with a plan in mind. Moments later, a carriage arrives at the town square and Gene comes out wearing the lord's clothes plus a few drops of his perfect perfume. As soon as the people near him smell him, they fall to their knees, amazed by his mere presence.